Let's just go down the rabbit hole here for a second. Let's just assume this is some sort of adversarial or foreign technology.
Most of the more than 120 incidents over the past 2 decades are not from the U.S. military or other advanced U.S. government technology.
It's right in front of me, it just disappears, like gone.
To be clear, he's referring to this giant object as a tic tac, as he said it was shaped like one.
We're in, that we don't know what these things are, and they might even be extraterrestrial. That's worse.
Welcome back to Third Phase of Moon. Blake Cousins here. We've got a special report for you. Thanks for joining us from around the world. We've got videos from the UK, from China, and right here in America. The similarities, are pretty extraordinary, including dash cam night vision still photograph of what people are saying is the dog man. This is coming in from coast to coast, and people are saying we should look at it. So we're going to be going over that, including a massive sighting over there along the California coast of Big Sur, California. And we're going to be showing those, and we're going to be getting to you, the public. We want to invite you to join us. We're doing this live, as you can see, and we're going to be looking at the comments, as well as, let me just put the invitation link, copy it to the clipboard. Let's see if it's in there, and we want to make sure we want to get you, the people, in here. Let me just copy paste this right in the chat room. Guys, we want your opinions on what we're going to be showcasing tonight. Remember, be polite, but obviously we want to get what you think it is. It's not always about us right here at Third Phase Moon. It's about you, the people. That's what we're about, and that's what got us here, is because of people like you always submitting the videos. We also got some incredible interviews that's going to be coming up right here at Third Phase Moon. We got Kevin Day, who's going to be joining us. He was the radar specialist on the Nimitz in regards to the swarm of UFOs that was captured. We've got some really interesting questions to Kevin Day, and that's going to be coming up very shortly, including which is amazing, another interview that we've just secured. And I can't really give too much away at the moment, but I can say he's pretty big in Washington, D.C. So that being said, let's get to this. And again, I wanted to tell everybody about our Instagram. We have an Instagram, and this is the next video that we're going to be looking at. And guys, we post there a little bit, but we're also doing it right here at YouTube all the time. But if you want to take a look at official Third Phase of Moon Instagram, and sometimes if you want to submit it there, we're also posting, and here's a picture of where we are right now live behind the scenes. So guys, check out official Third Phase of Moon on Instagram, and hey, maybe we'll see some of you guys tonight and we'll shout you out. So this is the submission that we received that we're going to share right now from Big Sur, California, and it was an Instagram heads up to us right here. Watch.
And they're gone. That's not Elon. Darling.
So, Witten Energy, Big Sur, California, was the Instagram account that submitted this, and I'm enhancing it and getting a really close look at whatever these objects are, multiple objects in the sky. Guys, I want to get your opinions as we're looking at this. And again, we invite the public, if you guys want to join us, to chime in on the evidence that we're going to be showcasing tonight. Stephen, appreciate the super sticker, the $4.99 super chat really helps. Appreciate it, Stephen. Well, according to Kevin Day, he says there was a swarm of UFOs, and that's interesting as we're looking at this. Does Kevin Day have something to say about this sighting? I have to say it is interesting. It definitely looks like a swarm of them out there. The question is it military in nature? Could these be just military flares? Let's get a good look at it right here. So there's a point in this video that I find it curious, and I'm going to do some enhancements on it in just a moment, where they seem to fluctuate all at the same time. And I'm not sure if that's an artifact of the camera, or are they all in sync with each other? And these aren't just random flares. Again, I'm going to showcase this point so we can see it. Did you see it, that little flash, and they all flash at the same time? Just bring this up. See that? They're flashed all in sequence there. Sequence. Is that a fluctuation of the camera itself, or I did a still image on it when they were all in sync at the one moment of time where they're flashing. So if these are military flares and they're fluctuating at the exact same time, that's interesting to me. That seems that they might be all in unison, and usually flares are just fire and they dissipate at random points, but that one fluctuation is kind of interesting. And that's coming in from Big Sur. So again, the videos are consistent. And then here's one that's a photograph, and I'm a little skeptical on it, and kind of a lot of skeptical, especially coming in from coast to coast. They're like putting out some pretty fantastical stories, fantasy maybe. But again, you never know. These cryptids, these biological life forms, chupacabra, Bigfoot. We like to cover that kind of evidence right here, and that's what we're looking for. What was that, Brent?
Yeah, it's interesting. Coast to Coast brought this in.
Yeah, it's interesting. Brent's saying that Coast to Coast brought this in. So let's just bring in this photograph that they're building up to be something extraordinary. Guys, I want to get your thoughts here. So there it is. I'm going to get a little closer look at this. We'll zoom it in. Actually, the photograph is pretty high quality, where, especially in night vision, and it's a security camera. Usually those are pretty low in quality, but when we're looking at this thing, I can see why they call it the dog man. More like maybe a dog kid or dog child. It's not too large. It's not too menacing, and it could just be anything. Guys, I want to get your opinions. Have you guys ever seen the dog man? I hear that people actually have said that they've seen them, but we don't really have much really solid evidence of its existence. And I'm not calling this groundbreaking by any means. I just kind of wanted to share it with you. Again, I just dropped in the chat. if you guys want to join us, there's a link, the StreamYard link, and you guys could all chime in there. So, Brent, what's your thoughts as you're looking at this?
Yeah, I'm still thinking it's really more pareidolia than anything. Maybe it's just a bush. I'm leaning towards that. This is actually dog and just maybe a statue or a puppet, you could say.
Yeah, maybe a puppet, maybe just bush debris, a dead tree. Who knows? But it does seem to. Maybe it's a raccoon just standing up. All right, guys, let's get into this one. This one is pretty interesting because when I received this photo, and it is the thumbnail for this this episode, it really brought back memories of the incident 11 years ago in China, and it actually made the world news, ABC News. They were all talking about it, and it was pretty amazing. That was the almost the day of disclosure. Do you guys remember 11 years ago in regards to the Chinese mass sighting, and ABC News and CBS and all the big channels were talking about it? It was interesting. So let me bring this up. This is what kind of brings me back to the idea that they may be coming back. Does this look familiar to you guys? We see this craft, if it indeed is a craft, spotlighting down on the ground in the city. And this is in America here. And again, is this one big craft? Could it be a helicopter? Could it be a shutter speed effect? All these things come to mind when I look at these kind of photos, this kind of evidence. But it's fascinating because when you see the beam of light as it comes down, could it be like a helicopter, a police helicopter looking for a criminal down there? But this is what's interesting because it really resembles what happened, 11 years ago in China. Pretty much the same phenomenon. And again, if this was random, which we just showed you, then why does it look so similar to China, and why we don't see these kind of sightings on a regular basis? I think people would be submitting these kind of photos if it was just a random phenomenon like a lens flare. But these are kind of interesting, especially with the streak and how this was touted by ABC News 11 years ago. Look it up, China UFO, ABC News, YouTube, 11 years ago. It is quite amazing that it does look very similar to what we're just showcasing on the thumbnail of this YouTube video. In my opinion, maybe the exact same thing. This is a really good one right here as well. When you look at it, a lot of people just debunk it as a shutter speed, and we're just looking at a shutter effect. But then again, the spotlight, the way it's beaming down, and comparatively to this photo that has just come in of the past week, it really does look similar. And again, ABC News, CBS, and all these big channels, the big networks, were touting the China UFO as something major. They blamed it on some kind of military exercise, but they never explained what kind of military aircraft it was or what it was. Again, above top secret kind of stuff. We got another one for you guys. And again, if you guys want to join us, we're doing it live. If you have any kind of thoughts on what we said or disagreements of what we just been talking about, you let us know and come on in. That's what we want. We want your opinions. And if we're not doing it right, or we just said something that's not the way it should be said, by all means, let's get you guys' opinion on some of this evidence. This one's kind of cool. I was looking at this next video, and there's this air show. I think it was a Jubilee in the UK, and they're doing it for the Queen and the Princess. And, they had their grandchildren there, and they're doing this major air show, Jubilee. And the camera from on top was able to maybe capture something. I don't know, guys. It's pretty interesting stuff. I did a lot of enhancements to really make this thing pop. Take a look at this. It was live while it went, so they couldn't really hide it. And a lot of people did some work on this, and they're telling us, take a look at this. Here it is. Watch this. There it is. But let's see what's it all about. See that little dot right there? So we do a little enhancement. Like I said, I got up a close on this thing, tracked it, and it is quite astonishing on how fast it moves across the back end of the dust trails there, smoke trails. Could it be closer to the camera? And this is the reason why we're seeing this speed is one of my questions here. See, if something's super close to the camera, it would seem that it goes by at a super fast rate of speed, when over here it would just move along slower. But if it's closer to the camera, it'll pass by quicker. These are the optical effects that we have to think about. But then I'm also taking in consideration if this is an infinity focus. And if it is, then everything will be in clarity, the background, the foreground, and anything in between. But if this is focused on the jets itself and locked in on that focus at, I don't know, approximately, I'd say about 100 yards, the camera from the aerial shot there from the jets itself. If it's locked in on that focus, then it's in close proximity to the jets, in my opinion. And then therefore, it could be some kind of UFO. This is interesting where the children are looking up, and I'm not sure if they're looking up at obviously they're looking up at the jets, but there's a reaction by the kid. He's like, whoa, look at that. Is that a UFO? Maybe, or he may have seen it. If it was that close to the audience there, or close to the jets, I could imagine that they may have seen it on the ground right there. All right, we got some people coming in. Remember, when we bring people on, we want to have the audio all good, and again, maybe some kind of profile, or so we know that it's just not some kind of, who knows, we get a lot of people, and this is a public forum, but we want to see some kind of proof that you're a person, with maybe a thumbnail or some design on your artwork, instead of just kind of maybe a vague, random, no profile kind of person. We want to see some, maybe that you've put some effort into the field, or your profile on social media. Wow, we got a really cool super sticker. Let's bring this in. Nathaniel Jordan, appreciate the $1.99 super sticker. Appreciate that. Guys, I want to get your thoughts. Do you hear anything from the chat, Brent? Read it out. Can you read it?
Yeah, they're all pretty impressive what they're looking at. Definitely, they're seeing. It looks like it's dodging the smoke, is what Bobby Stevens says. And Tic Tacs, they said we're back. LOL. That's from Doug Reed. There's a bunch of them. Foo Fighters is somebody suggested. James Evans.
I want to thank Kevin Channel for the $20 super chat, man.
Right on. We're almost up to 900 watchers right now live. That's awesome, guys. This is great doing this live.
Kevin, appreciate the super chat. All the support really helps right here at Third Phase of Moon. But guys, what do you think this is? Is just a balloon or a bird moving by? Again, it is kind of interesting that it has its own characteristics. Again, I'm not saying it's a UFO. This is extraterrestrial in nature, but I can say it is unusual, and that's why we're doing this here at Third Phase of Moon. and a lot of big things happening here. There's somebody in the comment room. His name's Rough Journalism. He says he had real similar photos to what we presented tonight. So if you're still there, Rough Journalism, send that to our email, and come on, bounce on, and we'll talk about it. We'd love to see that. Absolutely. This is real time what we're doing here at Third Phase. We've been bringing you the evidence and the stories from the day as we receive it. We don't really sit on anything, guys. We want to push this out so fast that they can't stop it. And I think there is a major power in regards to that kind of platform that we bring to the table. And this is interesting stuff. Again, I'm trying to figure it out. Aussie Tiger says it's not a balloon. It would have moved differently in the jet wash. And 5 times 5 News says a white trash bag, maybe, and a parallax action happened. And that's a possibility, but it doesn't look like it. What's up, Poe? How you doing? You there, Poe? We got a guest, but they need to unmute their mic if they want to join the stream. And again, we're inviting the public to get their opinions on what we're showcasing tonight. We'll be streaming for a few more minutes. We've got a lot of things on the table. Like I said earlier in this stream, that we're going to be speaking with somebody big in Washington, and they're really passionate about this topic, and maybe they're not too happy about what they're seeing, what's going on. Nathaniel Jordan, appreciate it again for the $4.99 super sticker. Nathan, appreciate that. Guys, again, the similarities between this and China are quite interesting. Rico Flo says, why is there no disruption to the smoke when it passes through? Let's bring that up. That's again, this is kind of cool because a lot of people say we just we put up CGI videos every day. We don't do that. We try and bring out the best UFOs that we think that are not CGI. We're looking for top quality. And again, this is 100% caught on a live feed right there during a Jubilee on live television. Now, the big question is, what is it? The big question is, what the heck is it? We got people joining us, but they got to understand, if you want to talk, you got to unmute yourself. You know, this Dogman video or photograph is interesting as well. There are cryptids out there. I think they're creatures that exist that we've still yet to discover, but some of these, are so elusive, like the Bigfoot. And then again, from Big Sur, California, listen to their reactions.
What is going
you can
on
hear
right
them.
now?
They're asking, what is going on out there?
What is going on right now? And they're all... and they're gone.
There's Goof on. I was muted there. Sorry about that. I was just saying that it's great that people think it could be a bug, and this is probably the video that is the most highlighted tonight, the one that's going to create the most discussion. And I think that's great that we all have different opinions. Again, I'm not exactly sure if this is a bug or not. The dog man looks like Anubis from Egyptian mythology. Anubis, huh? Rough journalism. What's he saying? Rough journalism's in the. Oh, we got 5x5 add to stream. Bring him in.
Hey, Brent, how you doing, buddy?
What's up, 5x5 knees? How you guys doing? How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Just literally just got onto your show and I saw that going across the screen. I was like, hang on a second, let me see what that is. To me, it looks like it's something caught in the wind. It could be a trash bag or whatever caught in the wind, and it's moving along. And I'm trying to see where it interacts with the smoke trails coming off the back of the jets there. It's kind of, I'm trying to get the context of the video as to where it's filming into and where it's filming from. But it looks like a parallax effect to me, making it look like it's going faster.
Yeah, I was bringing up the parallax possibility behind it. Definitely, no doubt about it. People are just asking the questions if this could be something, some kind of just random, like you say, a trash bag or a bug or a bird.
Yeah, because it looks like it's rotating around as you know. I don't. It's almost funny to say it's rotating, but it looks like it's moving around as it's like rotating on its own axis as it's moving. You know, much like a random object would do if it was caught in the wind.
Yeah, I think a little math, just break it down with some math and parallaxing and look at exactly what we're looking at. I think we could all basically see and break it down, see if this is actually moving at a high rate of speed or it's just really standing still with the parallax. Yeah.
Plus, we got to know how the cameraman in focus was, what his camera equipment, what he would, if he was actually focused in on that. Because if that were a paper bag and we could find out the direction of the wind that day, all that kind of good stuff. Rough journalism, you in? Welcome to Third Phase Moon. How you doing?
Straight. It's moving pretty straight to be a bag to me, and it's pretty big compared to the jets. You have to take into consideration how big that thing is. It's not a baseball-sized object. That's definitely a significant 3 to 5 feet. I mean, compared to a jet. I mean, we can visibly see it.
Is there a way to slow it down when it goes across the smoke so we can see if it's in front of or in the smoke from the jets? It's hard to tell.
While doing this live stream, I have to go work it a little bit better. But at one point, doesn't it look like it kind of intermingles with the white portion of the jet, the smoke line? Again, then we'd have to figure out how fast these jets are moving at this moment. I'm sure they're doing a passover, and they're not going to break the sound barrier while they pass over pallets.
They're probably doing about 200 knots. Is probably about average, at that formation.
So if this was a bag up there at approximately, I don't know, 300, maybe 500 feet, how fast do you think it's going across within this frame in that amount of time? 200 miles an hour? That's a pretty windy day there.
Yeah, that would be. But also, we're looking, if the bag is closer and it's just giving from the perspective the appearance of being next to or near those jets, because it looks like it's on this side of the smoke, on the camera's side of the smoke, because you see it the entire time it goes through the smoke, so it's not interacting with the smoke. It doesn't seem to be interacting with any of the vortices that would be left off the trail of the planes passing through the air anyway. So I'm guessing it's a lot closer to the camera than it appears, or than it seems.
I'm glad you bring up that, and I'll agree to disagree a little bit. I'm looking at, and I'm thinking this thing's a little closer to the trails. Mm-hmm. And rough journalism makes a good point, given the comparison of size of these jets. And if this was closer, indeed, it's quite sizable. But I do see your point. If it is closer to the camera, that's all what needs to be figured out in math, I think. And I think it could be. And that's maybe we need to break down this video a little bit more.
You know, I think it's interesting that we're all going over this at the same time, and I like that.
Yeah.
And again, we're just kind of like we don't have the answers, right? We can't.
It's just the amount of time that thing stays in frame. Because I work with camera equipment all the time. I have my own channel. I have 2 very pictures of a very big object. We had a translucent object fly. I take pictures of I live stream my pasture just because it's pretty, and I never see anything really cool. I saw a translucent object fly over the top of my head, and I have my camera out. I'm taking pictures. All I got was, you know, these two frames, and this object. It looks like a dot, but that's all I could see. And we have the water tower for a reference, and we have another picture right here where it was further away. And these were taken. I got the properties. These were taken, you know, in a minute frame. It was a minute frame apart. You know, because it only goes down, or it goes down to a second, you know, and there's no change in that, and it's so hard to like get your story across because I've never seen anything like it. It was translucent, and I only got 2 pictures of it, but just like in this video, you see how long it stays in the frame and how fast it moves out of the frame. This thing that I saw was in and out of the frame of our pasture in seconds. And when I went back at all my pictures, I found 2 pictures with it in it, and I was completely blown away that I had caught anything. So I mean, you know, as to all these things, they don't disrupt the air, as so many of the World War II fighters would say. They're like Foo Fighters. They never disrupt anything. It's, you know, they would say it's ball lightning or something. But there's definitely like this size craft all over the place. That spot across my pasture is you know, it's got to be the size of a small airplane. You know what I mean? It's so far away. It's so far away.
When I'm looking at it, no doubt about it, it's like there is that, like if it's close to the camera, it's going to go by super quick. But if it's at a distance and just as much of a distance as the jets were, then it's consistent in that frame and the optics. Like we showcased last night with this tether up there, possibly in the memosphere at 31 miles, or at least the stratosphere, how long it took to traverse across the moon. And again, if it were an airplane, it would have traversed across in a second. So people got to get their minds around, and this gives us scale and size. So again, it was a great discussion, guys. Appreciate you guys joining us. Rough Journalism. It's first time we've seen you there on YouTube for a long time, and never met, never faced behind.
Man, I got one abduction story that I have never told. It happened to me in my 20s, and just while you're here, I don't know if we have time.
Save it. I can save it. No. We're gonna save that for another time. You know, there is a time and place for it, and we want to make sure we share your story properly. And we don't want to do it at the end of a story. We want to showcase your story in a proper way. So let's save that for another time. But Rough Journalism, you got a YouTube channel?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So everybody, you know, appreciate you.
I have full explanations of the video on my YouTube channel, better than I can explain it here. I took time. I make edits.
Good.
You know, have fun on that channel. Just it's just a fun editing, you know, hobby of mine.
And what about you? 5x5 News.
Well, I'm a director of photography as well as a photojournalist with Investigation Discovery Channel, the Joe Exotic series, Tiger King, that kind of stuff. That's kind of what I do from the photography side. I've been doing forensic video and forensic photo analysis for like 30. God, I guess I need to change the years. It's like 40 years now. A long time, man. I'm getting old. But yeah, I've been doing that for a while. It first started off as looking at imagery coming in like on satellites and stuff like that, and then transferring over. So I've done work with the NRO. I've done, you know, work with various agencies and across the board. So, but to find me, I'm easy to find. Just find 5x5 News up on YouTube or on Twitter. chat with me. Let me know what I love being able to talk to you guys. It is awesome to get past some of that stigma that persists. And this is good. This is good.
Appreciate it so much. And it's interesting because there is a lot of talk, and we've seen a lot of the people, and it's great to see them on Third Phase of Moon and discuss the topic in real time. There's something to say about it, and I think we had a really good discussion. We don't have the answers. We're not the experts until we get the technology in our hand and we're able to fly in these things. And until that day comes, we're just putting out the information as it comes in. So guys, don't forget, if you've captured anything amazing out there, copy paste that link to my email after you upload it to YouTube. And guys, again, we've got some big interviews coming up, and we got, again, Kevin Day is going to be joining us, and somebody that has some power in Washington. So with that being said, guys, be safe out there, and don't forget, we're not alone. We'll see you next time.
Looking around, thinking it's only you, only to find we're many more than a few. Where do they lie? How come we seldom see them? Right in between the lines is where they reside. No reason to fear, we know who's here. The narrative falls, trickled through the years on everyone. Solid system, no more lies rolling through the haze. History worth mention, ancient connections may see us through. Although not easy to say, we're not alone as you may believe. System, no more lies rolling through the haze. History worth mention.